We never had a friend like me.
What's up, everybody? Charlie B back in the building. You know how we do. This is Bozarville. Everybody welcome. You feel me? Did my thing, you know what I'm saying, right now. My mom and my wife, Mrs. B, is at the spa right now. So they got 2 hours. So I figured I'd just come in and drop something because I ain't had nothing to do. I wasn't going to sit there. Okay, now, happy Mother's Day to everybody. That's part of my little perks for them. We're going to get into this, some more of this narcissism thing, but we're going to talk about enabling today. You feel me? Y'all been liking it. Y'all been coming in. Now, I just want to say this. Before I show this, I just want y'all to know that Ms. Bryant, Dr. Bryant, going to talk about some COVID because this video was shot 4 years ago. So I don't want y'all to think that, how can I put this? I found somebody who knows about the Tim or anything. This is a doctor. You know what I'm saying? And this was shot 4 years ago. Now, if we all know Tim's only been out there like 5 years and some change, allegedly. If this was shot 4 years ago, has nothing to do with IG, right? But I want you to hear her talk. It's gonna have a lot to do with the boys. It's gonna have a lot to do with grandma. It's gonna have to do a lot to do with Megan, allegedly. You ready? You sure? I don't think so. But let's get it, let's go. You know Charlie B, don't waste your time. Listen to the sister talk, man, it's deep.
Hello everybody, this is Dr. Carmen Bryan. Welcome back to Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. Thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you to everyone that sends comments, and thank you guys so much for allowing me to assist you even through coaching. So today, as you guys know, we've been going through a series of teachings concerning the dysfunctional narcissistic family. And remember I said previously that the construct or the idea of this, the family dynamics comes from the alcoholic families. It was modeled after the alcoholic families where each person within that family plays a role to sustain the kind of momentum of this dysfunctional family. Everyone has a role that they play that the narcissist assigns to them. And so yesterday, which today is August the 12th, so yesterday, the last thing we were doing a recap. So I've talked about the golden child, I've talked about the scapegoat, I talked about the lost child, the mascot, and yesterday I spoke about the helper or the surrogate parent. And so just a quick recap on that, the surrogate parent or the helper is the person, the child in the family that is normally the codependent enabler in training. This is the person that helps, to parent. You become a parent even to the parents, even to the dysfunctional, immature parents and the enabler and the narcissist. Every child in the family kind of looks at you as the surrogate parent, the one that protects, the one that makes sure the children get food and whatever they can do to make sure that there's some kind of balance or help for these children, and they're the ones that usually make the family look good on the outside because they're the ones that maintain the image of the family but protects and takes care of the children. And so the pressure on this helper surrogate parent is a lot because a lot of times these children are not allowed to live their childhood. A lot of times they miss out on their childhood because they were parentified, and the parents parentify them where they actually begin to have conversations with or talk to these children as if they're on the equal level playing field as the narcissist or the enabler. Usually the narcissist puts them on the same playing field, so they handle them as if they're adults and their minds have grown or registered, or their life experience has registered where they are. That narcissist really tears up people within that family. The family, everybody leaves out with scars in their heart, scars in their relationship, and oftentimes, the surrogate parent leaves out and recreates the same family type or gets involved with the same type of person that they left out of, and they recreate that whole family dynamics again. They're usually really rigid, very disciplinarian, harsh disciplinarians, but they're these are ones that they're overachievers when it comes to business, and so it's very rigid in their life. So a lot of them have a lot of issues. And like I said, each individual child, if you look at each role that is played, you can see how narcissistic personality disorder can emerge, or even borderline personality, or any other personality disorder. But you can see how narcissistic personality disorder can emerge, because just because a person has not been directly abused, but children watching the abuse in the family, are traumatized. They're being traumatized. They're too young to understand. They're not able to manage stress the way that we're able to manage stress as an adult. And if you as an adult are having problems in managing stress, and you are traumatized from the things that have happened or these things you experience, imagine the young children who have been traumatized. They can't handle stress like you can. That's why a lot of children do commit. They don't know how to articulate. Most kids, and it comes out in their behavior. So today I wanted to talk about the enabler. This is usually the primary supply in the narcissistic family, and they're usually an enabler and codependent. Now, an enabler and a codependent can also be the parents, because I've seen a lot of mothers or fathers who are also an enabler or codependent on that narcissistic son that is married to an enabler and a primary supply. Now, the responsibility of this enabler is they're going to basically what they do is they maintain all the roles within the family. They make sure that everybody plays the roles within the family. They're usually the one that side with the narcissist because they deeply desire to be loved, affirmed, so they'll do whatever that narcissist wants them to do, even sacrificing their own child. Oftentimes,
Hey, let's go. This is about to blow your mind. Let's proceed.
Child oftentimes watching the abuse happen and feeling helpless, not knowing what to do. They do whatever they can to clean up the narcissist's mess. They do whatever they can to make sure that narcissist looks good, or carry on the lie of that narcissist in public. They make sure that they are what the narcissist says. You're supposed to be a team player, and you're supposed to be one with me. Even if I lie, you're supposed to be my ride or die. So that enabler feels obligated to make sure that in the light, and oftentimes they're embarrassed too, to make sure that they do whatever they can to make sure no one knows what's going on within the four walls of that house with that narcissist. They'll lie with the narcissist. They'll fight on behalf of the narcissist. Whatever they do, if that narcissist is attacking, like for example, attacking the old supply who may have children or have custody of the children. So whatever way they attack, they tell stories to this enabler, and that enabler basically becomes a flying monkey. And we'll talk about that flying monkey. And they'll do whatever they can to fight alongside with this narcissist, because they want to gain the respect, the love, and whatever compassion or affection they can get from that narcissist. Anytime that enabler falls out of line, what they do, remember I was talking about the operant conditioning, the positive and negative reinforcements. And so anytime that enabler falls out of line, or that narcissist is embarrassed, or something happens, they will blame the spouse, the partner, whoever the spouse partner is, that primary supply, the enabler, the codependent. And so that codependent, that enabler, has to clean it up. And now they're fighting to win the affection back. So what that narcissist will do is punish the enabler because they may have stood up for themselves. Maybe they didn't agree. Maybe they made the narcissist look bad, or got angry and told people, or anything, and they fell out of compliance. So that narcissist will punish them. So they will punish them in order to stop the behavior that they want to stop. They give them they may ghost them. They may silent treatment them. They may take away affection, love, sex, food, money, whatever it is.
Grandma's floors
is that they take away to punish, or they may begin to abuse the other children because of that enabler. And so that enabler may not be able to handle the abuse that they see on their children. So they take it back upon themselves and go ahead and agree and comply to everything that narcissist wants them to do. And so what the narcissist will do, and that's what the trauma bonding is, what the narcissist will do is reward them with affection, flowers, money, time, taking them to the movies, taking them out to eat, paying attention, spending a little extra time with them. Maybe a Friday, they spend a little extra time with them. Whatever it is that codependent or that enabler desires or craves is what the narcissist will reward them with for their loyalty. And so you see how enmeshed they become, because basically that enabler, that all of them really, the whole family, but in today it's the enabler, the codependent, the primary supply is trauma bonded to that narcissist. Even when it comes to family, you have family, you have parents, and that the narcissist will cuss out, tear up their house, whatever. If they want something, they want money, they may not even have a job. They want money, or they want a particular sports car, or they want something, and everyone is like, get a job and get it yourself. They feel entitled that you, as my parent, you owe me because I had a horrible childhood. You owe me because so the parents feel obligated to make sure that they jump and do whatever that narcissist wants them to do, to a point where they're drained. A lot of times they will push that narcissist off on a new supply. And the way that they maintain, the sad part is the way they maintain that big entanglement is to even make that new supply, that the spouse or the enabler that is with them, make them feel bad about not maintaining that narcissist's happiness. You should do this. You need to stop arguing so much. You need to this. If you just do this, because a lot of times the parents don't want that narcissist in the home, so they will become a flying monkey alongside, will become a flying monkey to the narcissist to maintain that dysfunctional family setting, even though they see what that narcissist is doing, even though they see that narcissist is abusive or abusing the children. They don't want to tolerate that drama or that, that Tasmanian devil in their house tearing up their stuff or making them.
I know Dr. Brian talks fast, but if you rewind and go back, basically she just answered a lot of our questions. Why didn't Grandma Lily go down there and save them boys? Because she don't want the drama even saving them boys, her grandchildren in her house, allegedly. Right? Because Tim allegedly is such a narcissist, it's going to be bad. Did y'all catch it? If y'all didn't catch it, please go back. I'm not wasting your time.
Feel bad because they can't get money. And some of these narcissists, especially like the overt ones that have no self-control, are vicious. They'll tear down your house. They'll tear down your cars. They'll burn your house. They'll cuss you out in public. And these are the children talking to the parents. And so a lot of times the parents can't handle it. The parents are sick. And so they are more relieved when they can get a person to connect with them, like the spouse, and so they do whatever they can to perpetrate that. So they become an enabler, and they're an enabler to the narcissist and an enabler and a codependent, perpetuating this cycle of abuse within the family, knowing that they see what's going on and oftentimes won't say anything. And then you are horrified or you're angry with them because they see what's going on, but they still blame you as the enabler. They blame you for what is going on. So when you start speaking up as an enabler, you will get abused, and a lot of times you're leaving out, and you guys are horrified at the fact that the family that you thought loved you actually is a flying monkey to the narcissist. Tell them everything about you in order to win the affection of their own children. Tell them everything, whatever that they say, whatever lie that they told, they perpetuate that lie and make you feel horrible, even though you know for a fact that you were being abused. You become confused. It's that narcissistic fog, that narcissistic fog that has been spewed. You can't, the mist, that narcissistic mist, where you can't even think straight because now you really think you've been gaslighted so much, not only by the narcissist, but even by the family and friends, or in particular, the parents that are codependent. You have been the flying monkeys. You have been you're confused, and you have been so gaslighted that you really think that you're doing wrong by standing up for yourself and speaking up for yourself. So this is the enabler. A lot of times when they come to terms with what is happening, and then most people assume that this new supply or the primary supply, the primary good supply, you think that it's so all well and good, and is not. They're the ones that are abused the most. The enablers and codependents are abused the most. And oftentimes, people look at them like, I can't believe you didn't defend your children, but you don't know the dynamics behind closed doors. You don't know what kind of trauma or how they have really been held hostage in their own house. How these children are abused, how the enabler is abused. If you don't comply, I will go attack, your children, and then that enabler has to comply. And number one, they may not have anywhere to go, especially during these COVID times. A lot of enablers and codependents, they have nowhere to go. They can't afford, they may have a lot of children, or they cannot afford, they have been stripped of their jobs, lost their jobs. Narcissists won't allow them to work.
I ain't saying nothing.
Became the main supporter in the family. They lost their job, so they're stuck in the house with this vile individual that is abusive, and the atmosphere is just laced with abuse and words and physical abuse and anything that you can think of. But these people have nowhere to go. They have no shelter to go to. They have no support system. They have, some of the shelters weren't accepting people, and then what can you say when it's psychological abuse and not physical abuse? And that's why it's very important. Go back and watch the video from Friday where Helen Sadler, Destiny Helper, had a platform with myself, my friend Bridget Griffin, and Mavis Washington, where we were discussing domestic violence. And Ms. Bridget Griffin is a legal advocate within the YWCA, and she discussed the different facets or the different means of being able to get assistance in these times. But we discussed that. Go back and watch that video. It is on my Facebook page, and you'll see it's a Zoom. It was on Zoom. And it was hosted by Apostle Helen Sadler, or Helen Sadler, Destiny Helper, Into His Chambers Ministries. You'll see it on there. But, a lot of times they don't have anywhere to go. And so people beat them up and make them feel bad because you should have left. You had kids and I wouldn't have done that. And I know somebody's attacking my kids, and you wouldn't know what to do if you were in a situation like that. So stop judging them because you don't know what's going on behind closed doors, because you could leave. But have you ever been in a situation like them? I've been in one like that, and I took my kids and I left. My children are better. Yeah, we understand that. Our children are better than that. But you have no idea how much a person has been abused and brainwashed and trauma bonded to this individual. They have nowhere to go, and they're afraid whatever that narcissist has told them.
Okay, now here where I'm going with this. Like I said, Peanut Gang, y'all come in at some time, y'all roast me a little bit like, Charlie B, Megan, no. I understand. But as I always come on here and say, she deserves her credit. She deserves a lot of things, right? Okay. With me saying that, it's not me supporting her. It's me supporting a woman that is in a situation that we really don't know about. That's all it is, y'all. That's why I dropped this video today. Because I didn't want y'all to think I'm supporting her supporting Tim. No. I'm just supporting a woman that's getting no support, allegedly. You feel me? That's it. That's all. That's it. So, I hope y'all enjoyed this show about narcissism and enabling. She mentioned, you know how Charlie B, I leave Easter eggs. She mentioned some things, and we're going to jump back into that the next one. Because it's just as bad. You feel me? So, now allegedly, what did we get into today? We got into how the boys allegedly are in trouble. We got into how Megan allegedly sees no wrong with anything he does because she doesn't want to take on the brunt of Tim, allegedly. We see, allegedly today, with the narcissism, he can make you so upset and so angry, even if it's your family, even if allegedly it's your grandkids. You don't want nothing to do with none of it. None of it, allegedly. And the messed up part is with him making Grandma Lily that steward, and she has to work and things like that. Allegedly, he puts them grandkids in there too. Have y'all noticed? Did y'all catch it? Y'all catch it? She can't deal with her grandkids. Allegedly, she said it. Any more than one night, What does that mean? What have you taught them boys that Grandma Lily can't deal with? Because everything they pick up from home. I get so many compliments, Miss B gets so many compliments just for how our kids act. And especially when I got an autism shirt on or something, they be like, he autistic? I be like, yeah. Or they be like, she autistic? I be like, no, but my son is. Why? Like, attitude. There's certain things you don't talk to me about, okay? You don't talk to me about Whitney. You don't talk to me about Tupac. And you don't talk about autism to me. I catch an attitude real quick, okay? Now, Charlie B, love y'all. Y'all be easy. I hope this show helped. I hope this show helped y'all realize where we're going with this and why Megan's never going to leave. You feel me? She has nowhere to go, allegedly. So, with that being said, Charlie B got somewhere to go. I got to go pick up my mom and my wife. Miss B going to be like, he knew he only had 2 hours. What is he doing? What is he doing? My mama going to be standing there like, he ain't snit, okay? That's how she do me. But it's cool. I love her to death, you know? It is what it is. Y'all be easy. I'm out. I gotta go. Love y'all. Y'all be easy.